Hi there folks, welcome to Dunsy's Guitar World. Welcome to my third guitar lesson from the second album released by the Michael Schenker Group. This song is called On and On. It's written by Michael Schenker, Gary Barden. One of the most popular songs from this album going by Spotify. So this song is super easy, and my lesson is even super easier than that. Like my other couple of videos, I'm not doing any of the solos. My intention for these videos is really just to help people, I don't know, intermediate players or something like myself, who just want to put an album on and just jam along with it. So I'm going to do 3, maybe 4 songs from this album, and as simple as I can make it, just the simple chords that I think Michael is playing. Like all my lessons, I am not in any way, shape or form claiming what I'm showing you in this lesson is what the legendary Michael Schenker is playing. It's just how I would play the song. So my purpose of this lesson and the other couple of lessons is just to help you just to jam along with this. Put the album on, get your guitar and just jam along. So like the other 2 lessons, I'm not using my 1980 Michael Schenker Flying V made by Aria. I'm not using that because when you sit with this to try and do a lesson, it's just at an awkward angle to put the camera. So I'm not using this. The guitar I used was this 1974 Gibson SG, which is just easier to film. You know, I've got to sit with this on my knee like that, and it's easier to set the camera to film on that. So that's the guitar I'm using. So I hope you find this lesson useful if you're planning on jamming along with this tune. It's a great song, it's a great album by the Michael Schenker Group. As ever folks, it's a privilege and a pleasure bringing you content on Dunsy's Guitar World. Cheers for now. So as I said in the intro, there's really only 2 parts to this song, and I'll show you them right now. So, the first part. Now, what you have to do here is the volume on this SG is turned down to about 2. Turned all the way down to about 2. Because it's very clean sound here. So the notes are, now there's a ringing G string and D string. So the first note you play is this A sharp, the first fret of the A string, and then play the open D and open G like this. Then move up to play the C, third note, third fret of the A string. Again, open D and G, so we have. And then we move up to the D sharp or E flat, which is the 6th fret of the A string. Again, play the open D and G. Now I think he maybe hits the D again on the way back. So slowly we have. And we finish that with the F, 1st fret of the E string, and again the D and G open. Now I will say something here after I played this. I think on the album version, Michael is maybe instead of playing the D and G, he's maybe playing the A and the D open, which is quite hard to control those 2 notes together. So he may be playing it like this. So that whole intro, bearing in mind the volume on my guitar's turned down to about 2, 2.5, goes like this very slowly. I'll change so you can see my picking hand. So the first 3 you playing the A string, then the D and G open, so it's the first fret of the A. Move up to the third fret of the A. Again, I'm focusing on my picking hand here. D and G open, 6th fret of the A. See, I think he hits the D open on the way back down, and then we'll go into the G, so it's 6th string, 1st fret, and the D and G open. So very slowly, again I'm focusing on my picking hand here. And then into the main verse riff. Actually, before the main verse riff, during the intro there's a couple of chord stabs which are all played on this F power chord, which is the 8th fret of the A and the 10th fret of the D string. So when Michael's playing, and then the second time, and again, now we go into the verse. Most important thing here, turn your volume up to 10 or 11 if your volume goes to 11. And these are just very, very simple power chords. So it starts with this G, which is the 3rd fret of the E string, 5th fret of the A string, down to an F, back to the G, now the first time at the end of that he plays this D sharp power chord, which is the 6th fret of the A string, 8th fret of the D string. He maybe also hits the 8th fret of the G. So it goes like this. Well, a couple of times slowly. So the second time he plays the G and F again. This time the measure finishes with an A sharp power chord, which you can play at the 6th fret of the E string and the 8th fret of the A string, down to the F. Or you can play with the 1st fret of the A string and the 3rd fret of the A string to the F. So the second part goes like this. And again. So all together, the verse goes like this. And that's the verse. Now when it goes to the chorus the first time, and I think the second time, you're back to keeping the volume down. You maybe need a volume pedal for this, or another guitar player in the band. You turn the volume back down to where you were, about 2.5, and you just play the intro again. Back to the volume on 10 or 11, to the verse again. Now I think the last few runs of choruses and into the main solo, Michael was playing the power chords here. I think he's playing the power chords. Like all my lessons, this is simply what I think goes on in the guitar. So he's just playing the power chords, the same as he would do in the intro, but with the volume on 10, and he's playing the power chords. So it's an A sharp, 1st fret, of the A string, 3rd fret of the D string, up to the C, 3rd fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, to the D sharp, 6th fret of the A, 8th fret of the D, to an F power chord. So he's really just upping the gain and pushing the whole thing forward. So it's essentially the same as the intro and the chorus, but he's playing with power chords like this.